What's going on, my good people? This your boy, Life Up the Entertainer, here to bring you some action between Alabama State and Alabama A&M. This is going to be an interesting band battle between both of these giants, okay? One thing I would say is that both of these bands excel in different things this year, so I really don't know what to expect from either band, okay? This is the Magic City Classic, so you know they're going to be coming, all gloves off for each other, okay? It's the Magic City Classic, you know what I'm saying? So you got to get hyped for this shit. You feel me? So I saw that they had a Battle of the Bands as well. So this won the poll over the Battle of the Bands. So I will try to check that out on my own time if I get some time to grade that. But on the main thing is that, it's on my radar. So don't think that I'm not going to grade it. I will be grading it sooner or later. All right? But before we get into the action, I want to tell y'all that there's no favoritism involved with these bands at all. Nothing like that. This is my fair, honest critique. I didn't go to either school, but I'm going to give it to you raw and uncut. Okay? So, please check your attitude at the door. Again, there's no favoritism. This is just my honest opinion. It's just one of me, so don't get in your feelings about that. All right? So, we have halftime footage and we have fifth quarter. I could not find a zero quarter for this battle, okay? I don't think they had a zero at all, okay? So we're just going to work with this, and hopefully, this is, what we need to know to see who wins this battle, okay? So I just wanted to throw that out there, okay? So what does halftime look like? Please look to the cards next to me so you see what we'll be grading. We're going to be grading entrance, songs, formation, dancers, breakdown, and overall creativity. Maximum points they can make all together is 25. With their creativity, it can fluctuate to a 30 possibly. Okay? So it's pretty much on the band to see what they're going to do. Okay? So my expectations for both of these bands, I'm expecting 8 to 5 to be together, step-offs to look good, the formations, symmetry looking well, dancers, the stunts go well, they looking clean together. When it comes down to songs, if a band is stationary, I'm expecting the songs to sound good. I kind of give them I let them slide when they're marching because the sound shakes. When it comes down to breakdown, I'm expecting at least 3 breakdown features from the band. Okay, 3 breakdown features. If they give me any less than that, then they kind of hurting themselves. I'm also expecting them to put energy into the breakdown as well, not just going through the emotions. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to shut up. We're going to get into the action. If you're new to the channel, please consider liking and subscribing. It means so much to me. We're going to start off with Alabama A&M first. Okay.
It's your turn. Introducing the 4 elements of funk. The beat, Mr. Mark Hackett. The rhythm, Mr. Brandon Johnson Jr. The groove, Mr. Thunder Chopper Love. And our head drum maker, Mr. Jermichael Britton. Drum makers, do what you do and show them what you are, who you are.
They did that.
Okay, it's time. Under the direction of Mr. Carlton J. White and his assistant directors, Mr. Shelby Miller and Mr. Charles Carter, head assistant band director and chief blues commander, Mr. Mario Ward, coordinator of dancing divas, Mr. Sean Rankin,
step-off issues starting off.
manager of band operations, Mr. Gary Gilbert, percussion instructor, Mr. Gerald Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, the real show starts now.
We started off with some step-off issues.
now being entertained by your favorite band, the absolute best in halftime entertainment. The first historically black college and university band. In the field now,
Like how they did the A and M in the middle. That's pretty dope.
and now, using our flag. What party? And now, from the coast and north to north, these ladies are like no other. Their vision high home comes down today. These are 2025 dancing divas. Slow it down, just a little bit. These are the ladies in the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
That was
and
nice.
you know it. Buckle up, hold on tight. It's time to take a ride on the freeway of funk. Jermaine Dupri, Petey Pablo, and that's just the beginning. Marching maroon and white, let's make it happen for the people.
That's pretty good.
JD said welcome to Atlanta. We said welcome to Birmingham.
Okay, Alabama A&M.
Did someone say basketball?
did
Start
that.
over. Yes.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So, the verdict is almost a perfect for me. Almost a perfect. Alright? So, entrance is a 5. Songs was a 5. Formations, I'm going to give them a 4. Dancers a 5. Breakdowns a 5. Creativity's a 5. They got a 29. Almost a perfect and almost close to a 30. Okay? Almost got a perfect 30. Like, that was 1 point away from getting a perfect 30. That was very good from Alabama A&M. Okay? I said, minus the hiccup, the only thing I can say, the reason why they didn't get a perfect 30 is the step-off issues in the beginning of the field show. They pretty much handled business for the majority of the field show. I just kind of wish they would have just stick together in that. You had some snakes when they was marching as well. It was 8-5 and step-off issues for them. They kind of hurt the dynamic entrance from the band. You know, not so much the drum majors, but the band itself. All right? But after that, they was kicking ass. So, good job, though. Great job, okay? So, I don't know what Alabama State's going to respond with, but, you know, hopefully they can have a stronger field show to combat that, you know. So, we're going to see. We're going to see. So, if you made it this far in the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It means so much to me, okay? So, you know, Alabama State has some trophies by their name for a reason. So what I would say about that is that if they got trophies by their name, that means they had a perfect 30 for me. So they capable of pulling a perfect 30, but I don't know if they're going to pull it off on Tuesday's battle. All right, but we're going to find out. So let's get to it.
Is Anisha Dixon, escorted by Miles Wilson.
We're going to skip
and Miss
this.
Senior Nation.
Let's get through that.
University and Court. Party Nation, I'm looking at that score at 49ers. Let me hear you say, yeah, 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 State. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Dr. Quentin Ross, President of Alabama State University, Dr. Wendy Coleman, Dean of the College of Visual and Performing Arts, and Dr. Carly Johnson, Chair of the Department of Music, Birmingham, Alabama. We present to you the Alabama State to the mighty marching hornets.
Very clean.
Bring up on the field, Major.
AT&T's been
Taking the field, ladies and gentlemen, the first VCU marching band to perform in Rose Bowl Stadium. You see them on ABS and time, Magic City, together for the Alabama State University mighty marching hornets. Now you already know those are not like us. Let's go, Hornet Nation. Y'all see that score?
trombones.
And now it's our two-point sensational fitness.
Hey, they kick some ass.
But never ever duplicated. It's all Penance has watch called the double time. Now sit back for the nation as we play tunes by Cardi B, Beyonce, Joy, NBA Youngboy, and so much more. Magic City, if you're ready to tell them what the one is, make some noise!
They did that. Alrighty, let's get that a grade.
Execution.
Man, you know, I said it before, man. They had that perfect 30 sitting on them. There it is. Oh, man. They definitely handled some business on that field, fam. They did. Everything about that field show was right. I could not spot anything wrong with that field show at all. They handled business on that field show, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect 30. Good job, Alabama State University. They holding it in there, man. Look, it's one of the few bands that can get a good solid 30, man. They about that business, fam. They about that business. That's a hard thing to go against, fam. They handled some serious business, man. They did that. Alabama State definitely handled their own, which was nice to see. Like that, everything about it. Energy was there. The diss which came out of nowhere. Was not expecting the diss. Dancers handled business from what I can tell. You know, the band had the energy. 8 to 5 was there. Everything about it was nice. Everything about it was nice. So, moving on. Alright, so we're moving into fifth quarter territory. Alright. Now, before we get to fifth quarter, I want to give out the current standings. The current standings right now as we speak, Alabama State is up by 1 point. Count it, 1 point right now. That's the current standings right now. Alright. This could all change in fifth quarter. Alright. Now, before we get deep into fifth quarter, I would like to tell y'all I have a membership program. I will be posting a link above. So if y'all want to check that out and see what's the benefits of being a member, please do so. You get a lot of perks and then some, and it's only $2 a month. And it'd be well worth your coins if you want to be part of the membership program. Also, I have a free thank you tab. So if you want to hit the thank you tab down low, you know, you can just do that and, you know, make a kind donation. All proceeds will go into me affording YouTube Premium. With YouTube Premium, I will be able to you know, afford to not have commercials interrupt my reactions or when y'all engaging in the video. Okay, so that's the whole purpose of me getting YouTube Premium. Also, we'll go to eventually, once we get YouTube Premium, it'll be eventually me doing specialty shirts for these HBCU bands. So if you're alumni or current bandsman, or you want to represent that band, you can. So you'd be surprised on what type of ideas I got for t-shirts. Alright, so last but not least, you know, if you don't feel like donating or anything like that, you know, just doing a free digital like, you know, and a subscribe goes so much. It does so much. Okay, so if you want to do that, that'll mean so much to me. All right, so we are grading fifth quarter. All right, so look to the cards next to me so you know what we'll be grading. We're gonna be grading sound selection, power, articulation, arrangement, and overall cleanness. Maximum points they can make altogether is 50. All right. With that, you know, with that being said, you know, these bands can really excel. You might have some bands that might get the upper hand. Some bands might fall underneath everything. So it kind of depends on how the band is structured. Okay. Some bands kind of excel in different areas, but you know, I do not know what to say in this battle. One thing I would say is that Alabama A&M been catching the blues for me this season. So I hope that they tighten up everything that I mentioned in the past videos. Fingers crossed, Alabama A&M, because it was some stuff I feel like y'all can tighten up a whole lot on. So hopefully y'all rectify those issues. One thing I would say also is that there's no favoritism. I want to throw that out there. And I'm not grading how strong an arrangement is, okay? Both of their pens are very strong, but I'm not grading how strong an arrangement is. I'm grading the execution of the arrangement, okay? I'm grading the execution of the arrangement, All right. So if it sounds like shit, it sounds like shit. If it sounds good, it sounds good. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. All right. Now, what I would say is how this grading scale is set up. It's possible for bands to get ties, but if a band does not do completely fulfill what they need to fulfill in fifth, it can show. All right. So again, I don't know what to expect, but we're gonna find out. All right. So let's get to the action. Alabama A&M first. Come on. Make it tighter.
With drug discovery. Let's get that a grade. Strong arrangement. Yes, it was a strong arrangement, but let me get my critique. Sound selection is 10, power is 10, articulation and give them a 9, arrangements 10, cleanness I'm gonna give them an 8. All right, so they got a 47. One thing I would say is that the beginning, you know, the high brass was kind of doing it, then went to the trombones. The first time they did it, it was not as clean as it could have been. They kind of cleaned it up a little bit, but then we got to the tubas. They did good the first run, and when they tried to do that, it was not clean as it could have been. You know what I'm saying? And so that kind of started dragging a little bit. It wasn't as clean, and they did it multiple times. All right. You know, another thing too is like some of the phrasing was not getting out too, so that's why I gave it a 9 in articulation as well. So, but 47, but good arrangement. Moving on. The hypeness was definitely there though. All right, let's give that a grade. Not bad. Sound selections 10, powers 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, cleanness is a 9. Almost a perfect. There was some parts that need to be rounded off in the beginning, the beginning of the song, and I think they will be straight. They just missing just a little bit of that oomph in the beginning. That's it. Just need to just round off the edges. Almost a perfect in my eyes. Moving on. Let's get that a grade. Give that shit a Ric Flair moment. Woo! Oh man, that shit was nice. They had that pen is crucial, man. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not gonna doubt that. I'm not gonna doubt that. That pen was crucial. But let's give it a grade. Song selections 10, powers 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, cleanness I'm gonna give them a 9. Alright. Almost a perfect. There's some stuff that needed to be rounded off a little bit better. The arrangement is like it's very strong. It's a lot of parts that have to hit. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just gotta make sure that it fits the ensemble. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff going on in that. And so it was some parts that they was hitting, some parts that they were not hitting. So it's like for the majority that was hitting, but there's some parts that can be better. Alright? So almost a perfect. Moving on. Okay, Alabama State.
with the Yukon.
Give that shit a Ric Flair moment. Woo! Oh my gosh, that sounded really good. That sounded really good, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Oh man, I love that arrangement from them. You know, oh man, that was nice. I gotta give him a pen too, cause that's something on my hidden list I will pull out too. So yes, indeed, Alabama State. Yes, indeed. Oh man, that was crucial. Woo! Alabama State. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Yes, indeed. Whew. Moving on. Pretty.
learning. Let's get that agreed. Yes, indeed. That was nice. That was nice. Very balanced sound. Very balanced sound throughout the whole arrangement. I enjoyed that from them. Like, definitely enjoyed that. Like, I can appreciate the musicality that took into that song. Like, it wasn't a lot going on. It was just right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. That was nice. That was nice. I enjoyed that from them. Like, literally enjoyed that from them. Moving on. Woo. Woo. Give that shit a Ric Flair moment. Woo! Oh my gosh, that pen. Alabama State's pen, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I gotta say. That pen is something crucial, fam. Oh man, that pen is something crucial. Oh man, that was nice. Oh, moving on. Feel like I was at a concert.
let's get at a grade. Almost a perfect. Almost a perfect. They just got to round off some more edges on that. Like it's like it's there, but it's not there. If that makes sense, it's like it's almost a passing grade for me. I mean, so it's like literally right there, literally right there. Like I ain't mad at him on that, but it's right there. Alrighty, moving on.
Man, have the cheat.
Alabama State, ladies and gentlemen. They went Super Saiyan Blue God in this thing. Oh, man. Ooh. Alabama State, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got to say. When they get going, fam. One thing I would say for a minor critique, I would want the high brass to not, when they attack close to the end, don't try to overshoot it just a tad bit. So just kind of still play in your pocket. But for the majority, it was good. You know, like everything else was straight. That's my only minor critique if I was to critique something. Moving on. Oh, they brought it back too. Okay. I like that one. Okay, Alabama A&M. I hear y'all on that one. That one sounds way tighter. That one sounds way tighter. I like that one. That's nice. That's nice. No complaints at all on that one. That was nice. I think that was your tighter song besides that third one. You know, yeah. As far as the genre switch up, I think that was your tightest song. Alrighty, moving on. Alabama State finna close us out.
You were bound by the chains.
Alabama State, ladies and gentlemen. A good way to close it too, man. And they went Ultra Instinct in this thing, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Alabama State tapped in, dog. They tapped in on those last four, dog. They tapped in. Ooh, Lord. That's all I gotta say. They tapped in, fam. Oh, man. So, who won this battle? Let's give that a good grade, alright? So, let me do some calculation and then we can get to it, okay? Alrighty. So, who won this battle? Alright, so it was a very interesting battle to see, but I think I kind of got an idea who won this battle, ladies and gentlemen. Again, ladies and gentlemen, please do not get in y'all feelings about these grades. It's nothing but love here. If you skipped ahead, shame on you. Watch the video to see what I said, okay? Why I said the things that I said, alright? You know, there's no favoritism at all, alright? So, if you want to look at the battle, I'm going to give it to you raw and uncut. When it came to halftime, Alabama State was up by 1 point. When we got to fifth quarter, okay, fifth quarter was a dramatic shift in the grades, okay? A dramatic shift. Alabama State was up by 4 points in that. So it's a 5-point difference. It was a clean sweep, ladies and gentlemen. All right? So, I want to throw this out here and help you understand this. Alabama State won this battle, but Alabama A&M definitely did pretty good as well. Okay? There's some things that needs to be fixed on their end, but I'm going to give my critique for both bands. Okay?
So, Alabama State, I only got one critique. Just make sure that y'all still playing inside the ensemble. On your first song, just sprucing up on that small song in the beginning.
Victory.
But that's it. Not too much to really complain about. Y'all pretty much handle business throughout the whole battle. All right, Alabama A&M. When it comes down to y'all and y'all field show, y'all could have got at a perfect 30 as well. But y'all had some minor 8 to 5 and step off issues at the beginning of the field show. All right. Now, when it comes down to fifth quarter, there's some songs that can definitely be tighter. All right. That's one thing I would say. When they articulating, etc., there's a lot of things they have going on in some of these arrangements. Very complicated arrangement, but I don't think that the band can truly handle it if y'all don't pull back the lyrics and really fix it. I think one of the biggest issues that Alabama A&M has right now is that they trying to project, but they trying to attack at the same time. And if y'all not built like that, I'd rather y'all stay clean and hit every phrase versus y'all trying to hit it with power. Because, it's not going to sound as good as it can be if it's contained. And I think that's one of the problems that they have, is that they have to really pull back some of those layers I think they hip hop arrangements or rap tunes or whatever, but very strong arrangements, but they just gonna have to really pull back on work on attacking together, because it's like I get it, I appreciate that pen game, but y'all just gonna have to play in that ensemble. I think y'all can be stronger if y'all do that. Okay. As far as y'all strongest two songs out of the group, out of the bunch, I would say y'all third song and y'all last song. Those are y'all strongest songs in this battle for me personally. But that's because y'all wasn't doing too much, especially if the arrangement is busy, y'all gonna have to play together, and I think that's one of the things that hurt y'all this battle. Okay, if y'all was more controlled, played with a controlled sound, played together, I think y'all would have been able to hang in there with Alabama State. Okay? Impossible would have capitalized or made it a tie. Alright? So, with that being said, man, that's my verdict. Alabama State won this battle, man. I'm finna get up out of here, man, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Deuces.